But what was your reaction when you saw the hit on Drew? And did you immediately start to get ready right away, throwing things?
I'm always ready to go in the game no matter what. I saw it was kind of a rough hit. But he looked all right at first, and then I saw he was kind of, dazed a little bit, whatever, and then he kind of signaled to the sideline. I was ready immediately. I'm always, trying to stay warmed up on the sideline, ready to go at all times.
When did you figure, or when did you know that you would finish the game? Did you hear?
I never really knew for sure. I was just focused on the next drive and staying locked in, and when I was ready to go, that's all.
How gratifying was it to do what you did today?
It was really good. I was super proud, of the guys and really having my back. Nobody flinched, in the huddle, and that really made my job easier. The offensive line played, really good as well, which made my job easier in the defense as well. And I'm really glad that we were able to send the seniors out with a win in the last game in Beaver Stadium.
Well, can you take us through the long run that you popped right after you came in, and just take us through that play, and then what did that mean for you and kind of the entire offense, so that things were going to be all right?
Yeah, I think it was, super important to have an explosive play like that. First play being in, just to set the tone, and it was kind of, set the IDs, made sure the running back knew who you had, and I had the option to throw as well. I decided to run the ball, and then I saw a crease and just kind of went up the right sideline, tried to get as much as I could get.
Well, reflecting on just the season in general a little bit, what do you think was there in you in that situation today that maybe wouldn't have been there had something like this happened in September or so?
I think just all the experience I've gotten. Coach Franklin has done a really good job getting me in games and in situations all season long, and that made my job so much easier today. I was a lot more comfortable. I felt super comfortable in there just because I've had that experience so far this season.
What was the biggest difference being in the offense today with Jalen and Ty?
I wouldn't say there was too much of a difference, honestly. I think they did a great job all week, kind of setting the tone. And it was like a normal week for us. They did a phenomenal job. I think my teammates did a great job staying locked in and focused all week, and it felt really smooth on today on game day.
They say that you have to prepare to be the starter every week, but can it be a little frustrating to prepare every week and not get into games, and then when you finally get in, what's that like for you?
I think it's a difficult thing to do, but I always take pride in preparing as if I'm the starter. And obviously, when the time arises, like it did today, I was prepared and ready to go. And it's a credit to Danny O'Brien getting me prepared for this, and all the offensive coaches, and always staying on me and making sure I know everything and I'm ready to go at all times.
Do you say to yourself, "Wow, okay, I've proved I can do this now"? Does that go through your mind?
I guess so. I mean, it's just it's just another game. It's just more reps that I can have under my belt and be more comfortable with this offense.
So you've talked about the influence that your father and Weber have had on your game. Have you heard from either of them yet? And if you haven't heard, or if you have heard, what has the feedback been? And if you haven't heard yet, what do you expect it to be about what you did out there today?
Yeah, no, I haven't talked to them yet. I haven't had the chance to, but I think hopefully they'll be pretty proud of me, and I'm sure my dad and my brother will have plenty of coaching points as well, though. Things I could have done better.
But with all of the changes this week with the offense, what was the rapport like between the quarterback group to rally around one another with all of the changes?
The change happened, but I don't think anybody flinched, and I think that was really important all week long. The leaders did a great job. Obviously, the whole offensive coaching staff put together a great game plan, and like I said, nobody flinched. Whether it was with the change or the injury, and I think we did a great job with that, and did a great job.
To follow up on that, how was the fresh perspective of having Coach Franklin more present in the quarterbacks meetings this week with Danny O'Brien? What are those two doing to improve your game?
I think it was really good to have Coach Franklin in our meetings this week. He's been in our meetings before. He's just another perspective. He's played the position. Obviously, he's coached for a long time. He knows a lot about quarterback, and I think having him in the room, helped a lot this week.
How important was it to have Danny through this transition? Because obviously he spent a lot of time with all of you quarterbacks all season.
Danny O'Brien, I can't say enough good things about him. He's not only a great coach, but a great person. And I know I can speak for Drew as well. We have a really tight relationship with him. And, for him being on the sideline with me, it made my job a lot easier today. And, I'm really glad we have Dan O'Brien quarterback.
We've seen all you can do as a runner. You're a sensational runner as a quarterback. Where are you as a passer right now? Because if you end up having to play a lot going forward, I mean, they're probably just not going to let you run it every single play. Where are you in your passing development?
We were ready to throw the ball today. We had some shots dialed up. We had passes, that ended up running on. I'm really comfortable with throwing the ball. It just so happens we didn't throw it as much today.
Yeah, you never have to. Where are you though? I mean, in practice, or have you developed a good bit over these last couple months?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's physically, it is what it is. I feel really good, and then mentally, I feel like I've improved a lot all season, just going through progressions and learning how to read defenses. So.
Is it the general game plan when you come in to kind of just ground and pound the ball, or is it just what the defense ends up giving you guys?
It's really what the defense gives us. Like I said, we had passes, designed today. I tucked it and ran it on some of them. We checked the play on some of them. But we feel comfortable running the ball. We have two really good running backs. We have a good offensive line, and it was working today.
You've been patient. You've had to be patient. Anyone taught you about patience? It's not sometimes easy for 19, 20, 21-year-olds to be patient. Usually, a lot of people never learn it.
Yeah, I think it's just something that you have to do as a quarterback and know your role. I was ready to go at all times. I was always ready for this moment whenever the team needed me, and I wasn't going to let them down.
So what does this kind of week teach you about the culture of this program? It's next man up, coaching staff, players as well. What did you learn about this group through this week?
I think I talked about it earlier. Nobody flinched, and it shows how tough this group is mentally and physically. Offensive line played really well today. Defense played really well. I think, we all just kind of rally around each other and rally around our leaders. And, they do a great job leading everybody in the locker room and making sure, everybody's, locked in every week.
You mentioned always being ready for the moment. It's going to be a short week upcoming, the game on Friday against Penn State. If Drew can't go, is that an opportunity that you could be ready for starting?
I'm always going to prepare as if I'm the starter, no matter what the circumstances. I did it last year as the fourth string. I was ready to go at all times, so it's the same way I'm going to, enter this game.
But was it an emotional week at all in that room? I mean, or are you guys almost like, I hate to say it this way, but like professionals in a way that this is kind of a business and this is the way it goes?
Yeah, I think we handled it pretty professionally. There wasn't really any flinch. We were locked in all week long. The coaches came up with a great game plan, and it was a smooth, transition. We weren't rattled at all. We stayed locked in the whole week.
James talked about the plan was to bring you in anyway, even if Drew didn't get hurt. What was that going to look like?
Well, I came in for one play in the first half. Drew stayed on the field as well. It was kind of like a two quarterback set. I think it was a run play. So that's kind of what it was going to look like.
Beau, when Katron gets going, he had a smile painted across his face after the game, scoring those 2 touchdowns. How important is that moving forward for your offense when he gets going and finding the end zone and gets that confidence?
I love Katron, man. He's a great dude. I love, having him in the backfield with me and Nick as well, all the guys. But when Katron gets going, it's hard to stop him. And I think it's really important to get him going and get the offensive line going. And it's, like I said, it's tough to stop when Katron gets going.
How do you think the threat of you being able to take off and run helps open up that game?
I think it does, create some opportunities for the running backs when the defense might have to worry about me as a runner as well. And my job is, even if I don't have the ball, kind of carry out my fakes and make sure to open up, running lanes for them.
We saw what this offense has dealt with, all of these changes, we talked about it, but now that you've been able to implement it one game, what do you think is the next step to making sure that execution is near perfect next week?
I'm not sure. That's something we're going to look into for Michigan State. We're going to come up with a game plan, and whatever the coaches decide that is, we're going to execute it to the best of our ability.
Hey, but my bad if you already covered this, but your touchdown run, at least on the field, it almost looked like the snap was fumbled. Do you mind what was that play? And then maybe if it wasn't fumbled, that's fine. But that was a really quick change. It looked the throw was going to happen, and then you pop into the end zone out of the world.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a run play. We had trouble with the snap, and my first thought was secure the football and jump on it, but it kind of just bounced it back into my hands, and I looked up, and nobody was really there, so I just kind of walked in.
2 more guys.
Beau, is there a heightened sense of pressure when you come in the game? Obviously, you've played a lot this season, but almost unexpectedly for that next play.
I don't think so. I don't feel that way. And my teammates for sure don't make me feel that way. So, There's a lot of confidence in the huddle from all the guys. You know, they had my back, and they made my job a lot easier that way.
Coach Franklin. A few weeks ago, James talked about the importance of finishing blocks and finishing plays with a physical, nasty demeanor. Those were the words he used. What do you see out of your offensive line in those goal line situations where they probably know you're going to run the ball, you guys run it, and you can be successful anyways?
I think it's a mindset, and those guys have a tough mindset downhill, and you know it's me versus you. You know, it's the D-line versus the offensive line, and they worked all season long, off season in the weight room, and that sets them up with confidence. You know, when we're in those situations.